And this is the opening contest of Hunting Grounds 3, I believe we're on now. And we're starting the show off with a Junior Heavyweight Championship match between Trunks and Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia had to earn this opportunity when he had to defend his number one contendership. I believe it was against Link, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was. So Link challenged him for a match, and he really wanted the opportunity. And then Prince of Persia went on to defeat Trunks with not Trunks, freaking Link in that match that they had. And now Prince of Persia is having yet another Junior Heavyweight title match with Trunks. Here comes the current Junior Heavyweight Champion, Trunks. And this is Trunks' first title defense since he won the Junior Heavyweight title. Not surprisingly, it's against the guy he defeated for the belt to begin with. And knowing Trunks, he does not want his first defense to be his only defense, and so he had to bust his ass to win this championship. And he wants to hold on to this belt for quite a while. This is like the first time he's held a championship in years. This is like, I think he was like Atomweight champion back in the Mag Nation back in the day. That's freaking. All I know is that I know Prince of Persia really wants to win back the Junior Heavyweight Championship, become the first ever two-time Junior Heavyweight Champion, even if that means he has to once again defeat Trunks, since I believe these two had a match prior to the other match where Prince of Persia won. Probably imagining things, but I don't know. But here comes the former Junior Heavyweight Champion, the one that Trunks beat for the championship. A new beginnings, I believe. And now these two are having their rematch at one of our big 4 pay-per-views, which is New Beginnings, this one, Heartbreak, whenever I can actually get that done, and LWW Final Hunt, which is our WrestleMania. And there's, like I said, the current number 1 contender and the former champion, Prince of Mother Effin' Persia, who also is the former XC's champion in CIW. Shout out to Sean McCarty. And there's the current Junior Heavyweight Champion, Trunks. If I hear from since the last time he had a wrestling match, he's been training a lot. So Prince of Persia, I wish you luck with this guy. He really has been doing all the training that I heard he's been doing. He is not the same dude you faced last time, that's for sure. Because I know for a fact that Trunks is determined to hold this championship for as long as possible. And I do not blame him. And let's get this opening Junior Heavyweight title contest underway. And immediately Trunks with a drop kick from Prince of Persia. And Prince of Persia dropping the second drop kick and missing with a leg drop there. Trunks with headlocking Prince of Persia, whipping him in the corner. And now Trunks sending Prince of Persia shoulder first into the post. Now Trunks just scraping his boot against Prince of Persia's face. Now Trunks just a punch to the face of Prince of Persia into the armbar. And Prince of Persia with a shoulder tackle of Trunks. I'll mention this now since you can sure people probably be wondering. This show I know is a week late because it was supposed to have been done by last Tuesday, but me and the rest of the LWW managerial staff figured, screw it, we'll just give everybody a week off, and we'll just freaking have this pay-per-view go live in the next week. Just fourth wall breaking there, because I am recording it the same week that it was originally supposed to take place, and it should be done by next Tuesday at the time of this recording. And Trunks just kicking Prince of Persia off him back to the match, and Trunks reversing a forearm attempt into a flapjack, and the Prince of Persia whipping Trunks into the corner, clothesline knocking the current Junior Heavyweight Champion down. The Prince of Persia with a pair of punches to the face of Trunks, and an uppercut to Trunks, and Trunks being caught in a headlock, and an elbow to the face by Prince of Persia there, into an armbar, and Trunks reverses into his own armbar, into a headlock, and a takedown, that weird wrestling thing that people do, and a chop, and a pair of punches, and a drop kick by Trunks to Prince of Persia there. And now Trunks tried to go for a suplex, or something, but Prince of Persia reverses it into a neckbreaker. And now Prince of Persia with a pair of elbows, 3 elbows to the shoulders of Trunks there. Prince of Persia picking up Trunks, kicked in midsection. And Trunks with just a trio of punches there, and Prince of Persia blocking that kick into a dragon screw. And Persia missing the leg drop again. And Prince of Persia reversing that forearm attempt that Trunks tried to go for again into another flapjack. Kicked in midsection of Prince of Persia there by Trunks. And Persia was just a kick to the back of the head of Trunks there. Elbow drop to the back. Now Prince of Persia tried to go for... he slammed Trunks' face against his knee there. I don't know what the hell that was, but Persia go for cover. 2, and only gets a 2 count. That would have been embarrassing for Trunks if Prince of Persia pinned him off of that. And the Prince of Persia going for the Sands of Time, and he nails it. Now Prince of Persia dragging Trunks away from the ropes. Going for covers Prince of Persia. 1, 2, and Trunks kicks out. Go behind by Prince of Persia on Trunks. Flips him over. Misses the elbow drop as Trunks. Another kick to the face of Trunks there by Prince of Persia. And now Prince of Persia just slamming Trunks down by his knee against the ring. And now Trunks is pissed. Another flapjack to Trunks there by Prince of Persia. Another elbow drop to the back of Trunks by Prince of Persia, sorry. And the Prince of Persia with a DDT to Trunks there. He cut off that comeback attempt, I tell you that much. And now Prince of Persia trying to go for a camel clutch, but Trunks' feet was right there by the ropes. Heel kick there by Prince of Persia to Trunks. Oh god, now Prince of Persia springboard, which he nailed. And now Prince of Persia go for a cover on Trunks, and once again his feet was by the ropes. Kick to midsection of Trunks there by Prince of Persia. And now Prince of Persia with a twisting freaking neck breaker there, or whatever the hell that's called, and a shooting star press for good measure. Go for covers Prince of Persia. 1, 2, and Prince of Persia reclaims the junior heavyweight title. Practically with almost no effort. Because Trunks just was not in... I don't know what the heck is going on with Trunks. He was not at his A game, and I guess that training really didn't pay off much. Now Prince of Persia is the first ever 2-time junior heavyweight champion. I don't know why Trunks didn't get like really any offense in it. Like I was expecting a lot more from you, Trunks. Kind of let me down, my dude. Either way, Prince of Persia is a 2-time champion, and now I just wonder who's going to be facing Prince of Persia for that title. Curious if Trunks is going to try and invoke his rematch clause, or who knows what's going to happen. Either way, next match is Cassian Cinders in his open challenge for the King of Bulls Championship. If Cassian can defend the title, he'll be like 2 more wins away from being able to turn it in for a world title opportunity, just like Jack 6 did. I'm interested, sorry, and who it is that's going to be facing me. Well, after that whole unexpected freaking just promo drop by freaking Trunks there, and apparently Trunks is apparently quit the company, as he just literally just walked up the ramp and didn't even go to the gorilla position. He just literally just walked off the side and went out one of the exits on the one side of the arena. I don't know what that was about, but what the heck Trunks' issue is. That's a situation we'll have to deal with another time. And this next match is the King of Bulls Championship match, where Cassian Cinders defends his title for the first time against a mystery opponent, because he put out the challenge at Super Show 4 last week, time of this recording, and he said he challenged anybody in the back to challenge him for this title. I'm just curious who it is that's going to be stepping up to face him for this title, because Cassian really wants a world title opportunity, and if he can retain this title 3 times consecutively without losing it, he will get that opportunity, just like Jack 6 did. And if Cassian did manage to pull that off, he would only be the second person to ever been able to retain the title 3 times without losing, and then turning it in for a title opportunity. Imagine if somehow Cassian managed to do that, and Jack 6 is still the world champion by that point, if he managed to beat Jesus in the main event of the show tonight. Jack 6 versus Cassian Cinders, that's a match I want to see, kinda. And I will get about to find out who the heck Cassian's opponent is. Oh god, I think I know who this is. We haven't seen him wrestle in quite some time, and yep, it's unfortunate this jackass. The leader of the Unwashed, we haven't seen in months, Darkseid. This asshole and his group have been, really, Ivan has been radio silent for the most part for the past year, almost a year or so now. But now I guess apparently this jackass is accepting Cassian Cinder's challenge for the King of Wolves Championship. I really hope Cassian manages to retain the title, because last thing I need is to worry about this jackhole freaking having opportunity at the world title if he manages to retain this title 3 times. That's the last thing this company needs, is the Unwashed holding the world championship hostage. Again! It was bad enough when Johnny Cage had it. And then Jacob Cassidy, but you get the idea. Freaking Christ almighty. I can't believe this is the guy who was going to be facing Cassian for this title. Well, people, this dickhead, Darkseid, is challenging Cassian for the King of Wolves Championship. Please do me a favor, Cassian. F5 this asshole through the freaking ring. Just don't destroy it, because the last thing I need is to have to spend an hour having to have this ring repaired and set back up again. No, we've never had it destroyed, but we did a freaking focus group test a while back. See how long it would take to put the ring back together if it ever got destroyed by somebody superplexing another guy to the ring. It took about an hour. And it was a pain in the ass. That's all I have to say. And there's the King of Wolves Championship these two are fighting for. And let's get this King of Wolves title match underway between these two. And Darkseid with a headlock on Cassian. Into the superplex. Look at the strength of Darkseid. And Darkseid already trying to end this match early with the Apocalypse chokeslam / powerbomb to Cassian. And now Darkseid dragging Cassian away from the ropes. Going for a cover is Darkseid. What? Not even a 1 count. It's going to take a lot. Even though that move is devastating, it's going to take a lot more than just one of those to put down Cassian. And a suplex there by Darkseid to Cassian. And Darkseid just repeatedly punching Cassian in the head. I remember a while back Darkseid was planning something with his goons. And apparently I guess this was the plan all along. Wait and see whoever the King of Wolves champion is would put out an open challenge. And I guess Darkseid was just waiting for the opportunity. And Cassian nailing a neckbreaker to Darkseid there. He punches and a kick to the midsection into an armbar by Cassian. He gets nailed in the knee to the midsection by Darkseid and just nails him with a belly-to-belly suplex. And a German suplex by Darkseid to Cassian. Now Darkseid telling Cassian to get back up. And now Darkseid has Cassian with another Apocalypse. There. And now Cassian just no-sells that shit, and now he's right back up. And now Cassian knocking down Darkseid there. And another clothesline. And Cassian just slamming down Darkseid. And now Cassian going for the Cinder Breaker. And he nails it! That devastating leaping gut buster. And now Cassian whipping Darkseid in the ropes. And catches him. And has him up. For the F5 to Darkseid! And now Cassian going for cover. 1, 2, and Darkseid kicks out. God damn it. Clothesline again by Cassian there, Darkseid. And Darkseid just punches him off. Clothesline takes down Cassian. Now Darkseid telling Cassian to get back up again. Now setting up for a third Apocalypse chokeslam bomb by Darkseid. Now go for cover. 1. Only a 1 count. What the hell, Cassian? And now Darkseid was a flurry of punches and a go behind on Cassian there. And just a slap to the back of the head. Into a headlock by Darkseid. Into the suplex. Now Darkseid dragging Cassian away from the ropes. Going for a cover again. 1, 2, and Darkseid pins Cassian off the suplex. Apparently knocked him out and gave him a concussion or something. But, freaking Christ, no. Darkseid's the new King of Wolves champion. And I thought Cassian was going to win after he nailed him the Cinder Breaker and then the F5. Somehow Darkseid managed to kick out of there. And now Darkseid's the new King of Wolves champion. Freaking Christ. Now if he manages to retain this championship 3 times consecutively without losing, now I have to worry about this jackass freaking having an opportunity for the title. Fantastic! That's the last thing this company needs right now. Now, one of the unwatched members now has a freaking championship again. Just great. After all the crap we did with last year. Just freaking fantastic. The next match is the TLC ladder match between AA Omega and Yusuke Urameshi for the Intercontinental Championship. Christ. Just great. This douchebag has the king of the title. Fucking fantastic. And this is the Intercontinental Championship TLC ladder match between AA Omega and Yusuke Urameshi. Yusuke is the current defending champion after he defeated AA Omega in the last match that they had for his title. And this is their rubber match between the two of them, because Omega won the first match they had. Then Yusuke beat him in the second match that they had. And this is the third match that they've had against each other. Apparently we're in El Paso, Texas. I don't know, because apparently that guy who keeps fucking with the freaking thing and the truck is still back there. But either way. These two have had a long-standing feud over this Intercontinental Championship. And this is probably going to be the last opportunity Omega has at this championship. And even if Yusuke loses, he's probably going to be moved to the back of the line so that somebody else can have an opportunity. As much as I like watching these two beat the shiznits out of each other, you don't want people to get bored watching the same two people fighting each other over a belt. Cough, Randy Orton and John Cena back in 2009. Or whenever. Anyway, Yusuke's first one to come out here wearing that prestigious Intercontinental Championship. The history of that championship, man. Jack 6 was the first one to hold that championship, and look where he's at now. And the list of people who've also had that championship is insane. And here comes the former U.S. champion and Intercontinental champion, like I said. And he's also a former AWF World Champion and former Tag Team Champion, and Lord knows how many other belts he held in the AWF. Mother effing AA Omega. Somebody my twin has had a personal history with in the AWF and PWTF. Either way. It'd be interesting to see if Omega can reclaim the Intercontinental Championship and become the second ever, I believe, 2-time Intercontinental Champion. Behind Yusuke, obviously. And this isn't the first time Omega's been in a match like this. He's been in all kinds of insane matches where he put his body on the line. He's a tough son of a bitch, give him that. He's right in his element when it comes to this match type. You have to wait and see if Omega can pull it out of his rear end like he did the last time when he won the Intercontinental Championship. See if he can win his Intercontinental Championship a second time. You have to wait and see for that. And there's the current challenger for the Intercontinental Championship. A dude who held it before until Yusuke won it from the last time these two faced each other. AA Omega. And there's the current remaining defending Intercontinental Champion, Yusuke Urameshi. Or Yusuke Uragi, as some people would like to call him. Shout out to TAW. And also, Yusuke's a former Tag Team Champion and former Magnation Champion from back in the day. Like I said, it's just going to be interesting to see how this match goes between these two. There's going to probably be a lot of tables and steel chairs everywhere. And ladders, obviously. And let's get this Intercontinental title TLC match underway. And Omega immediately nailing Yusuke with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. And Yusuke flipping him over. And now power slam there by Yusuke to Omega. And if you haven't seen a ladder match before, basically the rules are simple. You climb the ladder, you grab a belt, you pull it down, and you win. In this case, this is just a slightly different kind of ladder match where there's also tables and chairs on the outside of the ring you can use along with ladders. Hopefully nobody destroys my announce table. We've been good so far. We've had 2 matches so far where nobody's destroyed my announce table, but I am not gonna be surprised if somebody destroys it by the end of the night. Would not be surprised at all. And Omega with a headlock on Yusuke into the neckbreaker to Yusuke. front flip kick there by Omega Yusuke. And now Yusuke picking up Omega. Into an armbar, it's Yusuke on Omega. And just slapping the back of his head and just shoves him off. No elbow tie up between these two. Sean McCarty's going to be happy somewhere. Into a go behind by Omega on Yusuke. And now Omega whipping Yusuke into the corner. And now Omega whipping Yusuke in the opposite side of the ring, in the opposite corner. Knees to the face and a monkey flip there. Shot in the back of Yusuke there by Omega. And Omega with a Russian leg sweep to Yusuke Urameshi there. And now Omega with an armbar on Yusuke. And Yusuke reverses it into a shoulder tackle. Now Yusuke with a flare punch is knocking Omega in the corner there. Turns him around in the corner. Shot to the back of Omega there. And now Omega reverses it into a kick to the back leg of Yusuke there. And a shot to the back of Yusuke by Omega. Whiffs the chop there, kinda. And Yusuke whipping Omega into the ropes. Into another body slam. Yeah, Yusuke tried to go for something there, but Omega reverses it into a belly to back suplex. And Omega picking up Yusuke. Springboard DDT by Omega to Yusuke. And Omega just scraping his shoe against Yusuke's face. Now Yusuke getting whipped in the corner by Omega. And Yusuke's like, screw you and your monkey flips. And Omega's like, bitch, try me. And nails him with a freaking tilt-over backbreaker. They're getting a boot to the face. And Yusuke with the suplex to Omega. And Omega blocked the punch there into a headlock of his own on Yusuke. Hurricane Rana by Omega to Yusuke there. And they both just punch each other there. Drop kicked to Yusuke there by Omega into the monkey flip spot. And now Omega with a go behind on Yusuke, kinda. And Omega just slamming Yusuke down. Surprised neither of them would try to go in for the ladder yet. Speaking of the devil, Omega's going for the ladder first. And hucks the ladder at Yusuke, kind of hitting him there. And now Omega has picking up the ladder again. And tried to crack Yusuke in the face with the ladder, but Yusuke takes the ladder. And nailing Omega in the face with the ladder is Yusuke. Now Yusuke going up for the title. And now Yusuke's trying to pull down the title. And Omega manages to push the ladder out from underneath Yusuke. And now he's dangling. Electric chair drop there by Omega to Yusuke. Weird ass camera angle. Sitting leg drop there to Yusuke's leg by Omega. Now Omega with an armbar on Yusuke. Into an armbar submission. And now Omega with a stomp and a front flip kick there. Another stomp there by Omega to Yusuke. Into the headlock. And Yusuke gets out of it. Another body slam there by Yusuke to Omega. And now Yusuke with an armbar on Omega. And a backbreaker to Omega there by Yusuke. And now Yusuke with punch fist of Omega. And Omega slips out of whatever trick over there into another front flip kick. And Omega nailing the Yusuke with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Another front flip kick there by Omega. Now Omega with a go behind on Yusuke. Into the Russian leg sweep. That ladder is about to fall right out of the ring. That was weird. Now Omega reaching for another weapon. Pulling out a table even though it was literally one right there. Kicked the midsection of Yusuke by Omega. A body slam again by Yusuke to Omega there. And now Yusuke picking up that ladder that got knocked out of the ring. Yusuke's just swinging wildly with that ladder and just cracking Omega in the face with it. Now Yusuke can't move because Omega's in the way, blocking him from getting into the ring while holding that ladder. And just nails him in the face again with the ladder to Yusuke. That table got knocked down inadvertently there. Now Yusuke sitting up the ladder, and now Omega's back in the ring. And Omega with a Hurricane Rana to Yusuke. After getting nailed in the face with the ladder twice. And now Omega's going up for the title. And Omega's got the title. He's trying to pull it down. But Yusuke yanks his ass right back down. And Omega blocked the punch down. Misses the enziguri. And Yusuke missing the boot. Omega clear dazed. Missing the heel kick. And Yusuke just punches him down. And now Yusuke trying to go for the title again. And Omega shoving the ladder over, and Yusuke crashes and burns there. And now Omega picking up Yusuke. And Yusuke whipping Omega into the ropes. Back body drop to Omega there by Yusuke. Yusuke is determined to try and reach this title. And Omega cuts him off, knocking him off the ladder. And Omega picking up Yusuke. And Omega whipping Yusuke into the ropes. Catches him and has him set up for the tombstone pile driver, and he nails it. And just scrapes his foot against his face for reasons, I guess. Omega, go for the title, Nimrod. Never mind, he's actually going for another. Well, he tried to go for another pile driver, but Yusuke reversed into a face buster. And Omega with a German suplex to Yusuke. Front flip kick again there by Omega. And another one to Yusuke. Drop kick to the feet of Yusuke there. Almost sending him up in the ropes for a 619. Now Yusuke getting picked up by Omega. And Yusuke reverses whatever Omega tried to go for there into a DDT. Almost right into that ladder. And just a kick to the back of Omega there by Yusuke. And now Yusuke tried to go for a suplex, but Omega reverses it into a neckbreaker. Now Omega just stomping away to Yusuke, just scraping his foot against Yusuke's face again. Hurricane Rana. Bulldog by Yusuke to Omega there. And Omega barely grazing him with that heel kick there, or whatever the heck that was. And misses that one. And Omega just punching the hell out of the back of Omega's head. Now Yusuke going for a hit. The Alabama slam there from Yusuke. Now Yusuke setting up for the spirit gun. And Yusuke nails the spirit gun. And now Omega's just right back up into the punches from Yusuke. And Omega responding one of his own into a headlock. And Omega with a suplex to Yusuke there. And there goes the ladder. And Omega going to the outside. Grabs the ladder again. Knocks down that table. And now Yusuke has a ladder. And Omega setting up the ladder again in the ring. And now they're both climbing up top of the ladder title. And now they're just staring at each other. One of them is going to have to throw a punch. And Omega raking the eyes of Yusuke. And Omega with a sunset flip powerbomb to Yusuke from the top of the ladder. And now Omega going for the title. Why did he go for the title? I guess he must have known Yusuke is no-selling the ladder spot. And just slamming Yusuke's face against the ring. Omega. And just cracking Yusuke in the face with the ladder is Yusuke. And now Yusuke's back up. And Yusuke tried morphing that boot there. And Omega just chops and punches. And a jumping kick there by Omega to Yusuke. Now Omega going for the title again. And he tried to reach for the title, but he fell off. And now it's wide open for Yusuke. And Yusuke manages to retain the title after he pulls it down. And Yusuke is still the Intercontinental Champion. Holy crap. This insane ladder match. But Yusuke wins the rubber match between these two and is still the Intercontinental Champion. Omega, I feel sorry. But now you're going to have to go back to the end of the line and have to work your way up towards getting another opportunity. But Yusuke will be walking out of Hunting Grounds still the Intercontinental Champion. Freaking crazy. The next match is a match that I still am really peeved off about because for whatever reason, GM of this company, Paul Phoenix, came back after being gone for a while. Randomly made a match between Damian King where he has defended his US title against Jacob Cassidy because Damian was the one who got the winning pin in a 3v3 elimination tag match at the Super Show last week. And somehow Jacob Cassidy made a deal picking Paul Phoenix, where whoever got the winning pinfall faced Jacob in a match. And for some reason, Paul Phoenix made it a title match. God, I hope Damian retains the U.S. title against that jack-off Jacob Cassidy. And this is the U.S. Championship match that literally is only happening because of the whole thing that Paul Phoenix said a week ago. At the time this video should be happening. Originally, I thought when the Kings defeated the Reckoning last week, I thought that Xavier and Xander would finally be able to get their hands on Jacob Cassidy for the first time in quite a while. If not ever. But apparently Jacob Cassidy went behind everybody's backs and went to Paul Phoenix and convinced him to change the whole agreement that they made. And since Damian got the pinfall on the final elimination to win the match last week, and it's 3-3 elimination tag match that the Kings won, Cassidy, apparently as part of the deal, agreed to have a match with in this case, Damian. And for whatever reason, they made it Paul Phoenix made it a freaking title match. So now, after basically single-handedly winning that 3v3 match last week, Damian has to defend his U.S. title against the guy who was in charge of those three jackoffs. Thinking that his title was safe because he originally thought that AJ Styles would have won the belt if Reckoning had one. It's probably why Damian was determined not to freaking allow any of them to get a pinfall. Because Damian was on a freaking warpath last week. Single-handedly eliminated all three of the Reckoning members. Now, unfortunately, he has to defend his championship against this jack-off Jacob Cassidy. Freaking Christ. The last thing I want to see is freaking U.S. title, one of our most prestigious belts in this company, around the waist of this douchebag piece of shit. He's been a pain in this company's ass ever since he first showed up last year. It was bad enough when he was World Heavyweight Champion. And now he's trying to win the U.S. title after he failed to get the global title away from Kenny Omega. This guy, Jacob Cassidy, I swear. He keeps running his mouth acting like how there's a reckoning coming for LWW. Yet so far he hasn't really explained what that reckoning is. Hopefully, much like his global title match with Kenny Omega, hopefully this jackass comes up short when it comes to trying to take the U.S. title away from Damian. Hopefully, but that you get the idea. And there's one of the biggest douches in this company, Jacob motherfucking Cassidy, leader of the Reckoning. And there's Damian King, the longest reigning, most dominant U.S. champion we've ever had in this company, and future World Heavyweight Champion, probably in this company as well. And he's also the Legends Champion in AOT2 Wrestling. Just throwing that out there. Subscribe to the AOT2 Wrestling channel. Random and out of nowhere plug for my other channel. Making much. And there's the prestigious United States Championship for LWW. And let's get this U.S. Championship match underway between these two. Drop kick immediately by Damian to start off. And then Damian with a headlock on Jacob Cassidy. And a spinning kick there. A leaping kick there. One or two. Now Damian with an armbar on Jacob. And just punches the piece of shit down. Misses the spinning leg drop there. There's Damian. Now into an armbar by Damian on Jacob. Into the takedown. Into this weird wrestling move there. Mat grappling. You get the idea. And now Damian with a go behind. Into the armbar on Jacob. Into the armbar submission Arm breaker, you get the idea. And now Damien put in the boots and another kick there by Damien, like Jacob Cassidy. And Cassidy reverses whatever Damien tried to go there into a suplex. And now Cassidy does a slap to the face of Damien. And just whips him in the corner. Kicked Cassidy there in the corner. And now Damien whips him in the opposite corner. Drop kick in the corner to Jacob Cassidy. Rolling cannonball senton there to Cassidy. Now go behind by Damien on Cassidy. Into the Hurricane Rana. Another drop kick by Damien to Jacob Cassidy. And a roundhouse kick there by Damien. He's been all over Jacob Cassidy since the bell rang. Now Cassidy slipping all over Damien, trying to go for that and slamming him face first against the ring. Oh god, now Cassidy just taunting and tried to go for the reckoning, but Damien reversed it into a kick to midsection. Oh jeez. And now Damien has him up for the Spirit Breaker, and he nails it. And now he drags me from the ropes. Going for cover is Damien. 1, 2, and Jacob Cassidy kicks out. Into headlock by Damien on Jacob, and a knee to the face. And now Damien with an armbar on Jacob. Whips him in the corner, does Damien. Drop kicked in the corner to Jacob Cassidy to Damien. And the cannonball again. And now Damien with this weird submission on Jacob Cassidy. Trying to make him pay for making shit that he's been putting his family through. And for basically bullshitting his way into this US title match. And now Damien has Jacob up for the GTS. And now Damien dragging Jacob away from the ropes. Number cover. 1, 2, and Jacob kicks out again. And Jacob whipping Damien in the corner. Knees to the face of Damien there by Jacob. And now Jacob picking up Damien. And now, oh god, now Jacob has Damien up for the reckoning, as he calls it his finisher. Now drags Damien away from the ropes. Gumbo covers Jacob. Not even a 1 count. What the fuck? And now Jacob with a headlock on Damien. And Jacob with the suplex to Damien, and he nails it. Knee drop there by Jacob to Damien. And a kick to the back of Damien there. And now Jacob picking up Damien. Dual chops and a pair of kicks to Damien there by Jacob Cassidy. And misses the enziguri. And Damien barely gets... And Damien just laying into Jacob Cassidy with punches and that kick to midsection. Whips him in the corner. While Damien running in. And he just took out the ref intentionally. What the freak? Xander just threw Cassidy a chair. And just cracked Damien over the head of the chair. And now Xander's waking up the referee. What the fuck is going on? Oh god, no. 2, and Cassidy's the new United States champion. Oh, that's just fucking great. And Xander's celebrating this. Fuck you, Xander. Fucking asshole. I cannot believe that two-faced, backstabbing piece of crap, Xander, freaking betrayed his own nephew, and for whatever reason, helped this douchebag piece of shit, Jacob Cassidy, win the United States Championship. Just freaking fantastic. As if it wasn't bad enough when he held the world title freaking last year. Just great. Now this jackass has the US title hostage. Just fantastic. Thanks a lot, Xander, you piece of fucking trash. The next match is a global title match between Kenny Omega and Black Panther. Fucking me. I'm still not over the fact that Xander freaking stabbed Damien in the back and cost him the United States Championship. Lord knows what. When I seen Damien come to after he got pinned by Jacob Cassidy, he saw his uncle at the top of the ramp and chased his ass out of the arena. Last I heard, Xander freaking took off in his car and disappeared somewhere in the city. And Damien freaking royally pissed off. I know that for a fact. Meanwhile, we have this global title match between Kenny Omega and Black Panther. Black Panther won this opportunity, I believe, on an episode of Underground. He won a number one contender match. I can't remember exactly when, but I know it was on an episode of Underground. And Kenny Omega's been on a roll ever since he won this title. He's defended it against everybody who's stepped up to him. Ironically enough, his most recent opponent was ironically Jacob Cassidy. Because Jacob didn't have help to win at that time when he challenged Kenny for the title. Just crazy what's going on in this freaking company lately. You got Paul Phoenix all of a sudden being a douche all over again, and then you got Xander also being a douche, stabbing his own nephew in the back and costing him a title. And handing it to an even bigger douche. Either way. And here comes Black Panther, who's been on a bit of a roll recently. He's one of those guys who I see things in the future for, but at the same time, it's like he's come up close in the past, but he always comes up short. You know, but like I said, Black Panther's somebody I see a lot of potential in, which is why I'm not surprised he got this opportunity. He's probably one of the best guys on the roster. Just hasn't really had a chance to prove it. But now he has a chance to prove it if he can somehow manage to beat Kenny Omega and become only the second ever global champion. It would be crazy as hell if he managed to pull that off. And hopefully there won't be any bullshit interference. Which now Black Panther probably won't be, as long as the Justice League doesn't get involved. Or the rest of the Avengers. And there's the #1 contender and the challenger, Black Panther. I forget which one this is. I don't know if it's the one that was played by Chadwick Boseman or a different Black Panther, but either way. Probably the comic book one. And there's the current global champion and only one that's ever held that belt since we introduced this belt over a year ago. Well, almost a year ago. Kenny, by God, Omega. One of the best wrestlers in the company. And somebody who I believe could be a world champion someday. I mean, he's already a world champion since he's holding the global world title, but you know what I mean. I'd be nice to see him holding the main world title. And there's that beautiful ass belt. And let's get this global title match underway between these two. Continental title between the two start off. Sean McCarty's gonna be happy somewhere. Go behind by Black Panther. Into the suplex by Black Panther to the Kenny Omega. Panther with a chop to the chest over Omega and a headlock. Northern Light suplex by Black Panther to Kenny Omega. And Kenny blocking the chop there. And Panther, we've seen whenever Kenny tried to go for there and nailed him with a punch there. And now whipped him in the ropes. Weird takedown there. I don't know what the hell that's called. And now Panther just putting the boots to Omega. First neck breaker to the knee of Black Panther there to Kenny Omega. And now Panther with another suplex to Kenny Omega. Drop kick by Kenny there, Black Panther. And now Kenny Omega with flurry punches there, knock him in the ropes and try to go for a kick, but nailed him with an enziguri. After Black Panther blocked the kick, another collar elbow tie up between the two. And Kenny Omega with a headlock on Black Panther, elbow to the face. And now Kenny with another headlock on Black Panther, kick to midsection, boot to the face of Black Panther there by Kenny Omega. And now Kenny with an armbar on Black Panther. Deep freeze neck breaker much? Stealing Sub-Zero's move there's Kenny. Sub-Zero's going to be pissed when he sees this. Belly to back suplex there by Black Panther, by the way. Shot to the back of Kenny there by Black Panther. And Kenny had a bout with, I forget what it was called, but it was that same disease Brock Lesnar had. Almost ended both of their careers at one point. And almost ended their lives, too. Somebody leave it in the comments what the disease was that Kenny had that took him out of action for a while. Because I forget. You know, Kenny with a headlock on Black Panther. Elbow to the face of Black Panther there by Kenny. And another drop kick. Now Kenny with a boot to the groin of Black Panther. Into a midsection. 1 or 2. Into a headlock. Now Kenny whipping Black Panther into the corner. Watch out, ref. Black Panther dodged whenever Kenny tried to go for the sorry. And now Panther with punches and a chop knocking him in the corner. And a kick knocking him down. And now Black Panther just grinding his knee against Kenny Omega's face. And Kenny just shoving Black Panther up. And Black Panther just slamming him down there and trying to go for something here. Drop kick again by Kenny Omega. And Panther just shoving him away whenever Kenny tried to go for something there. Kick the midsection and Kenny blocking the drop kick from Black Panther. and just slamming Panther's knee against the ring. Stomp to the arm of Black Panther there. And Black Panther blocking a punch there, and Kenny blocking that punch into a headlock, and Panther gets out of that and whips him in the corner again. Clothesline knocking the Best Bout Machine down. And the Panther just a leisurely kick to the back of Kenny, who just punches him off. Another punch by Kenny Omega into a headlock, and Panther whipping Kenny to the outside. Oh god, now Panther suplexing Kenny back into the ring. And now Kenny's pissed, and he's back up into a headlock. Clothesline knocking down Black Panther. And another one. Dodges that clothesline from Panther. A power slam there by Kenny Omega. Oh god, now Kenny going to the outside. Oh, really, Kenny, we're doing this now? Kenny's tearing apart my announce table after we went all freaking night without my announce table getting destroyed. Oh god, now Kenny going to the top turnbuckle. Black Panther cuts him off. Oh Jesus. And Black Panther hurricane run to Kenny from the top turnbuckle. Now Black Panther tried to get something there, but Kenny blocked it. An elbow to the face of Black Panther there by Kenny. Punched the face into an armbar by Kenny Omega. And now Kenny whipping Black Panther to the outside. And just kicking him off the apron is Kenny. And Kenny blocks that punch from Panther into a headlock again. Now sets him against my announce table. And now sets him on the table. Oh god. Kenny's back in the ring. And now Kenny going to the top turnbuckle. Elbow drop to the announce table of Black Panther by Kenny Omega. And now Kenny showing why he's the Best Bout Machine. And Black Panther is just right back up. And now Kenny's back on the outside. I think Kenny dazed Panther trying to climb up the apron and now just tripped him up and made him slam his face against the ring apron there. Oh god. And now Kenny with the one-winged angel on the outside of the ring. And Panther just no-selling the one-winged angel and whipping Kenny back in the ring. And Black Panther with an armbar on Kenny. Codebreaker by Black Panther to Kenny. Now Black Panther go for cover. 1, 2, and Kenny kicks out. And Kenny blocks a chop attempt. Heel kick. Or single leg drop kick, one of the two. And now Kenny with an elbow to the head of Panther there. And now Kenny picking Black Panther back up. Into a headlock by Kenny. Misses the enziguri. Bulldog by Panther. And now Panther trying to go for the walls of Wakanda. He's trying to roll him over. And he has it cinched in. Kenny, you're literally right there by the ropes. And Kenny manages to get the rope break, thank God. I'm rooting for Kenny getting there. And another code breaker! And Panther dragging Kenny away from the ropes. A new champion, possibly. 1, 2, and Black Panther is the new global champion! Holy crap, what was that I was saying about how Black Panther always comes up short? Man, he managed to freaking prove me wrong. This match. Even after getting hit with a one-winged angel on the outside of the ring. And an elbow drop through my announce table. Black Panther manages to nail a second code breaker to Kenny Omega, ending his reign as the global champion. And Panther is the new global champion. Holy freaking crap. I didn't think anybody was going to manage to beat Kenny for this title. But he did, surprisingly. And now Black Panther is finally a champion. After languishing in the mid-card for like forever, and always coming up short in every other title opportunity he's ever had. The next match is the tag team title match between the Rednecks FEW and the Avengers of Captain America and Iron Man, who wanted to... It wasn't ever shown, but they, from what I was told, they went to the GM and demanded the rematch after the Rednecks had their match with Roadhouse Soldiers, and that's why it's on the card. Either way, I'm just crazy, man. And this is the tag team title match between the Rednecks FPW, who somehow managed to retain their titles against Roadhouse Soldiers. Because in fact, the last time those two teams faced each other, the Roadhouse Soldiers ended up winning. taking on, and the Rednecks are taking on the Avengers of Iron Man and Captain America, who requested the rematch for these titles. Apparently, after the Rednecks had retained these titles against the Roadhouse Soldiers, apparently they went to the GM and asked for their rematch, since they did have the right to, because, you know, they were the former tag team champions before the Rednecks. I believe it's like their 5th tag team title reign, not including the New Gen one, I think. And the GM was like, alright, bet. And hence the reason why this match was on the card. I didn't even know about it till literally this show, earlier in the day before this show happened. That's why this match wasn't ever really promoted. Because literally, I feel like, if I remember correctly, I was told it was like a last minute thing. We were on a tight schedule around here lately, so we really didn't have much time to, you know, really do anything. But either way, like I said, at least this match is happening, and the Avengers, in case of Captain America and Iron Man, have a chance to become a 2-time tag team champions if they could somehow beat the Rednecks, which they have done in the past. And honestly, considering the fact that they managed to beat Roadhouse Soldiers, the Rednecks are probably going to be really hard to beat if they manage to beat the boys. Because I didn't think anybody was ever going to beat the Roadhouse Soldiers. It was crazy enough when Rednecks beat Xavier and Xander a while back at Final Hunt last year. But, you know. And let's get this tag team title match underway. And they both just kicked and punched each other at the same time. And Jay whipping Captain America into the ropes. Spine buster to Captain America there by Jay. And Captain America blocking the punches there from Jay. Into a headlock on Jay. Into the Russian leg sweep by Jay there to Captain America. And now Jay whipping Captain America into the corner. Tags in Zeke. And now off the ropes. Drop toe hold and Magnesium elbow. Take a shot. Zeke responsible, people. And now go behind by Zeke on Captain America. And Zeke lifting Captain America up and slamming his knee down on his own knee. Elbow drop there to Captain America by Zeke. Now Captain America will punches Zeke, but Zeke interrupts him when he tries to go for that last punch. Now Zeke whipping Captain America into the corner. Now tags Jay back in. Now off ropes again. Another drop toe hold and another Magnesium elbow. Take a shot. And now Captain America pushing Jay off. And Captain America's more punches Jay there. Now sets him on the middle rope. Now Captain America just holding Jay on the ropes with his knee, trying to suffocate him with the rope, I guess. Now Captain America off the ropes. I don't know what that was about, but now Captain America, I don't know why he didn't tag in his Iron Man, but whatever. Now Captain America with a belly-to-back suplex to Jay there. And now Jay getting whooped in the corner by Captain America, who just kicks him off and nails him with a DDT. Now Jay just delivering repeated punches to the head of Captain America. Now kicked in midsection. And a back tag there to Captain America by Iron Man, who just immediately gets nailed with a DDT. And now Jay with an armbar on Iron Man. Arm drag, kind of. And now Jay picking up Iron Man into the headlock. And Iron Man trips him up. And Iron Man was a kick to the leg of Jay there. And now Jay whipping Iron Man into the ropes, who just gets dumped to the outside by Zeke. Teamwork. Makes the dream work there. And Iron Man nailing Zeke with a chop block. And now both Rednecks on the outside of the ring. And Iron Man is in enemy territory. And Jay whipping Iron Man back in the ring. Elbow to the head of Iron Man there by Jay. And now Jay's back in the ring. Armbar by Jay on Iron Man. Knee to midsection of Jay there by Iron Man. In the DDT. Turnabout's fair play, I guess. Iron Man with a headlock on Jay. It slips out of it, whips him into the ropes, and Zeke tried to get a kick in there. It'd just be a little shit. And now Iron Man just got kicked off the apron by Jay there. Now Jay and Zeke are just ganging up on Iron Man. And Iron Man getting sent back in the ring by Zeke. And now Jay's climbing back in the ring. Punches knocking down Iron Man there. Collar and elbow tie between the two. Sean McCartney's going to be happy somewhere. Into a go behind by Jay. And Jay with a suplex to Iron Man. And now Jay with a headlock on Iron Man. Right to the eye somehow through the helmet. A faceplate, but you get the idea. And now Jay getting whooped in the corner by Iron Man. And Iron Man picking up Jay. And Captain America holding on to Jay after he got kicked into his arms. Headbutt by Iron Man to Jay there. And now Iron Man just delivering repeated punches to the head of Jay and slamming him face first against the ring. And Captain America is hyped. And Jay tags in Zeke. And Zeke just punching Iron Man once and dazed him there with that one. And Zeke with the neck breaker to Iron Man. And Iron Man shoving Zeke off there. Zeke with just another punch to the face of Iron Man in a headlock. Backbreaker by Iron Man to Zeke there. What is he, Roderick Strong? And Iron Man picking up Zeke and just a pair of punches to Zeke there into a headlock again. Into another suplex to the big guy. Good thing that suit allows Iron Man to figure out to lift really heavy things, because if he couldn't, then it would be really hard for him to try and lift Zeke, because Zeke is a big guy. Now Zeke having Iron Man up with a rolling fireman's carry that he likes to use as a signature. Only a one count. And Zeke does another punch to the face of Iron Man and whoops him in the corner. Knee to the midsection of an Iron Man there by Zeke. And misses the elbow drop. Good job, Zeke. And a DDT by Iron Man. And Zeke whipping Iron Man in the ropes. Arm drag by Zeke to Iron Man. And Iron Man blocking whatever Zeke trying to go for that and an elbow to the face. And Iron Man tagging in Captain America. And Captain America, for some reason, is just laser focused on Jay. And Jay just grabbing Captain America, who just gets nailed with a knee to the midsection there by Zeke. And Zeke just takes out Iron Man. And now Zeke's going after Iron Man for reasons. And now Zeke realizes who his opponent is supposed to be. And Captain America raises the armbar into a headlock on Zeke. Flips him over. Elbow to the top of the head of Zeke there. Now Captain America sitting up for the Stars and Stripes pile driver that he likes to use. Now he has him up. And he nails a Stars and Stripes pile driver. And now Captain America dragging Zeke away from the ropes. Going for a cover is Captain America. 1, 2, and Zeke kicks out. Into a headlock by Captain America. Flips him over again. Just freaking a fist drop there from Captain America. Armbar by Captain America, and Zeke reverses it into a headlock. Captain America reverses and just slaps his arm down. Zeke just nails him with a clothesline. Zeke just doing a jig then before he tags in Jay. Shoulder tackle by Jay. And Jay just punching the hell out of Captain America. And more punches to the face of Captain America there by Jay. Now Jay picking Captain America back up. More punches to the face there of Captain America by Jay. Into a headlock again. Elbow to the face of Jay there by Captain America, knocking him down. Weird elbow drop. And again. Now Captain America tried to go something, but Jay reverses it. Arm drag by Captain America. Now Captain America dragging Jay away from the ropes. Oh God. He's going for the "you can't see me" thing that he borrowed from John Cena. And he nails it to Jay. And now Captain America going for cover on Jay. 1, 2, and Jay kicks out. Another punch by Captain America there. And then a collar and elbow top between the two. Sean McCartney's going to be happy somewhere again. And Captain America setting Jay against the ropes. Whips him to the outside. Oh God. Now Captain America going for a freaking apron DDT to Jay there. And Jay might be knocked the hell out. And Zeke running interference and saving his brother. Whipping Captain America into the turnbuckle post. And now Jay's back up. And Zeke whipping Captain America into the barricade. And Captain America reversing over Zeke, trying to go for there. Into a bulldog to Zeke. It reps up to a count of 6 while Captain America is just running around the ring while Jay is just taunting. And shot to the back of Jay by Captain America. Into the suplex. Now Captain America dragging Jay away from the ropes. And Jay is back up, and Captain America just a straight punch to the dome of Jay there. And Captain America just sitting on Jay's leg. Now Captain America runs over and tags an Iron Man, and Jay wisely tags in Zeke. And Iron Man telling Zeke to bring it, kicked the midsection of Iron Man by Zeke, and Zeke nails him with the spinning kick that he likes to use. Go for cover Zeke. 1, 2, and Iron Man kicks out. And Iron Man blocking him up as Zeke tried to go over there and kick the midsection of the big guy. And the Iron Man whipping Zeke into the corner, and Captain America just inadvertently just punched his own tag team partner in the face. And Iron Man tagging Captain America and slamming Zeke's face against Captain America's boot. I guess we're just gonna ignore that whole punching him in the face thing. And Zeke is just going crazy because he's really ticked off now. Zeke, you are focused on the wrong guy, my dude. Also, my announce table got fixed in between matches. This episode that I mentioned that. And now Captain America is slamming down Zeke. Now Captain America singing for another Stars and Stripes. And Iron Man took out Jay. And Captain America with a pile driver Zeke. And now Captain America going for cover. 1, 2, and Zeke kicks out. And Zeke blocking that punch there. Flatliner to Captain America by Zeke. Going for cover. 1, 2, and the Rednecks retain the tag titles. Somehow, once again, they managed to retain the titles. These two, I swear, are two of the toughest people I've ever seen in a wrestling ring. I swear to Christ. Like, you can hit them with as many finishes as you want, but these two are still somehow going to just keep kicking out and getting back up. And then they're going to nail you with their own finisher. That's some of the most devastating moves I've ever seen. But somehow, once again, the Rednecks managed to retain their tag titles. And I can only imagine who's going to step up to face these two guys. And I wish whoever the team is luck. Because these boys are looking to hold these tag titles for a long time this time. And this is why these two are one of the most dominant teams in this company. Why I'm so glad we have them in this company, because this team, man, is one of the best. The next match is a grudge match between Virgil King and Johnny Cage of the Unwashed. And I hope Johnny Cage gets his ass whooped. And this is the singles match between Virgil King and Johnny Cage. And the reason why this match was happening is because Virgil was looking around the arena during the episode of Underground a while back, because he was trying to get his hands on Darkseid. And Johnny Cage cut him off and interrupted him. And then there was things said between the two of them, which led into a brawl between the two of them. And then this match was made essentially by Xavius at first. And then Paul Phoenix just signed off on it. And it's been a minute since we've seen Virgil since he lost that match to Cookie Monster. But now he has a chance to redeem himself against another member of the Unwashed. In this case, the former World Heavyweight Champion, Johnny Mother effing Cage. And I kind of hope Virgil just freaking destroys him. So Lord knows Johnny's had it coming for a long time, ever since he joined the Unwashed. If he got his shit wrecked, that would be hilarious. And Virgil still has one of the most intimidating entrances in this company. The dude, and he's a one of the biggest and strongest mother effers in this company, and he's also intimidating as all hell. And he has a moveset to back it up. There's a reason why nobody else wanted to challenge him when he was the GM of the company, until Xavier finally was able to. So this dude scares the crap out of me. And a lot of other people, apparently. And here comes this giant freaking egomaniac freaking jack off. And the fact that this guy's a former world heavyweight champion really still pisses me off to this day. Freaking Johnny Cage. This guy. And it's also bad enough, he's also a member of the Forgotten Fighters over in CAW. Shout out to Sean McCarty, rather. And now this guy has an opportunity to be one of the very short list of people, along with Xavier and Cookie Monster, that have gotten a pinfall victory if he somehow manages to beat Virgil. Spoiler, I doubt that's going to happen. Who the hell knows? I've been surprised in the past. And even on this show. I have to wait and see about that. This match is going to be interesting, that's for sure. And let's get this one-on-one match underway between these two. Now Virgil with an armbar into a go behind on Johnny. Into the massive suplex. And now Virgil picking up Johnny Cage. Rake to the eyes and immediately straight into that freaking black mass kick. Kick, I mean. Right to Johnny Cage's head. One. Only a one count. I'm gonna make it kicked out of that. Into another headlock by Virgil. Into the neck breaker to Johnny Cage by Virgil. And Johnny shoving Virgil off of him. Into the armbar. And a neck break of his own by Johnny Cage to Virgil. A pair of kicks and a punch. Another kick to Virgil there by Johnny, who sets him on the middle rope. And Johnny, well, whatever the hell that was, I guess it's effective in a way. And Johnny just running around the ring. Kicked him midsection, another kick, and a punch to the face of Virgil there by Johnny. He just whipped him in the corner. Watch out, ref. Virgil moving out of the way, whatever. Johnny tried to go for there. And now Virgil has Johnny's up for his tombstone pile driver. Going for a cover. And he was too close to the ropes. God damn it, Virgil. Elbow to the face of Virgil by Johnny. Clothesline by Johnny there. And now Johnny whipping Virgil in the corner. Oh God. And now Johnny going for that kick straight to the balls that he likes to use. And just punting Virgil straight in the balls. Now Johnny going for cover. 1, 2, and Virgil kicks out. It'll take a lot more than a straight kick to the balls to beat him. And another black mass-like kick to Johnny there by Virgil. And now Virgil going for a cover again. 1, 2, and Virgil gets the win over Johnny Cage. I guess Virgil just wanted to play with him for a bit and let him get some offense in, because I'm amazed he honestly let him get as much as he did. So half expected him to nail it, like repeated pair of kicks and then just pinned him. But I guess he wanted to mess around with Johnny Cage for a bit, but I guess the kick straight to the balls must have pissed him off. But either way, unsurprisingly, Virgil again made short work of Johnny Cage. And that is and that's, in a way, a redemption for him for losing to Cookie Monster a while back. And that is a message sent straight to the unwashed by Virgil. I'm still coming for your asses. And I am going to destroy every single one of you if I have to get my revenge for when they took him out a while back. The next match is the women's title match between Zelda and Cammy. And I was told through my right now, my headset I should say, that Sonya Blade was banned from ringside before the show. Just putting that out there. And congrats on the win, Virgil. Now he can move on to the next unwashed member, who I feel sorry for, whoever that will be. And this is the second to last match of this pay-per-view, where Zelda defends her LWW Women's Undisputed Championship against Cammy, who won the Women's Tournament of Glory, the first one we ever had. And Zelda has been probably one of the most dominant champions I've ever seen, next to Sonya. Ever since we unified the two Queen of New Gen and Queen of LWW Championships, Zelda has been the longest reigning champion with this championship. After Dawn was taken out of action, and when I hear Dawn's supposed to be coming back here soon, and you know she's probably going to be gunning to get her title back. And like I said before, Sonya was banned from ringside and from the arena apparently earlier on in the show. Well, before the show happened, from what I was told. She showed up to the arena with Cammy and she was told that she had to go right back to the hotel room. And now she's going to have to watch the pay-per-view using her freaking laptop or whatever it is that she watches it on. And here comes the current #1 contender, Cammy. Like I said, won the Women's Tournament of Glory that we held last year. They earned this opportunity. And Cammy's been on a roll lately. She's been winning matches left and right. And like, she had probably one of the most dominant performances I've ever seen. And she has ran through everybody that she faced in the Tournament of Glory for the women's. And now we have to wait and see if she can get payback for when Sonya lost to Zelda. At New Beginnings 3, I believe. And let's see if Cammy can win her first ever championship. Wouldn't that be crazy if Cammy wins her first championship? Every other belt just about has changed hands on this pay-per-view, so I wouldn't be surprised if this title changes hands too. Except for the tag titles. And let's get this women's title match underway between these two. Colin elbow tie between the two to start off. Sean's gonna be happy somewhere. And Zelda with a headlock on Cammy. Into the suplex by Zelda there. Look, the strength of Zelda. And go behind by Zelda on Cammy. And Zelda whipping Cammy into the corner. And now Zelda sending Cammy to the outside. And Zelda springboard drop kick to Cammy, sending her flying off the apron. Right here in front of my announce table. And Cammy just punching Zelda and then just get a flurry of punches and a chop and a forearm to the face for her efforts. And another forearm attempt by Zelda, but this time Cammy reversed it. Kicked in the section of Zelda by Cammy. Another punch to the face, a chop and a drop kick there by Zelda to Cammy. And Zelda with another punch to the face of Cammy and an armbar. DDT by Cammy to Zelda. That was up to a count of 5, by the way, girls. You might want to get back in the ring. And now Zelda's back in the ring with Cammy. And Cammy, not the time to be taunting. This is probably the biggest match in your career. You don't want to fuck it up here. And Zelda making her pay for the taunt with a suplex. A weird takedown there by Zelda. And Zelda just with the disrespectful boot to the face of Cammy. And that's her way of saying, that's what you get for taunting, bitch. And Zelda getting punched in the midsection by Cammy. And Cammy with a suplex to Zelda there. And now Cammy with a headlock on Zelda. Whoops her in the corner. Shot to the back of Zelda by Cammy there. And now Cammy just knocking down Zelda with that punch. Arm drag by Cammy to Zelda and an elbow drop, which I think she missed. Drop kick by Zelda to Cammy. Another takedown there by Zelda to Cammy, I mean. Now Zelda picking up Cammy into the go behind. Suplex by Cammy to Zelda there. And now Zelda with a chop to Cammy then, who blocks a punch into the headlock. And Zelda with the Russian leg sweep to Cammy. Just kicks her out of the air there. Just Cammy. And another kick and more punches, and Zelda blocks that one into the headlock. And Zelda whipping Cammy. Oh, Cammy reversed into a belly-to-belly suplex. And much like Sonya, Cammy's somebody who's trained in, I believe, in military combat. I just know that from Street Fighter, she's probably one of the toughest women fighters there is. Hell, there was a reason why I think she was like briefly M. Bison's host for once. For a brief period of time, I mean. I don't know. Somebody who plays the Street Fighter games knows the storyline. Leave it in the comments if Cammy was ever used by M. Bison as his freaking body at one point. And correct me if I'm wrong. And Cammy whipping Zelda in the corner. And just throws her into the corner, into a German suplex. Like, goddamn, Cammy. And Cammy just punches the Zelda into the armbar by Zelda there. And Cammy reverses it into the arm drag. Car and elbow tap again between these two. Into the armbar again. Arm drag again. DDT by Cammy to Zelda there. Headlock by Cammy on Zelda again. Zelda gets out of it in an elbow to the face of Cammy, knocking her back down. Whiffs that elbow drop. And Cammy another punch to Zelda there into the headlock. Chin breaker. And now just slamming her head against the ring. Now Cammy picking up Zelda. Punch to the face. And another one. And now Cammy to go behind and a slap to the back of the head of Zelda. And a kick to midsection as well. And Zelda with the armbar and Cammy into the headlock again. And Zelda with a neck breaker to Cammy. And now Zelda with more disrespectful boots to the face. This is going to piss her off. And trust me, you do not want to piss off Cammy. Into the headlock. Into the go behind by Zelda. And just slamming her back first against her knee. It's in the fact the back problems that I have that I felt that. Headlock again by Zelda. And Cammy slips out of it. Elbow drop. I think that was to the legs there. And Cammy just punches the Zelda. And go behind by Zelda. Arm drag by Cammy. And Zelda with another neck breaker to Cammy. And Cammy just shoves her off. Clothesline knocking her down. Headlock by Cammy on Zelda. Elbow to the face there. Into another headlock. And Cammy getting nailed with a Russian leg sweep by Zelda. Cammy with a DDT to Zelda. And another DDT by Cammy to Zelda there. Just two straight DDTs. And now Cammy just repeated elbows to the shoulders of Zelda. And now Zelda with a knee to the midsection of Cammy. And Cammy blocking what Zelda tried to go for there. Kick the midsection as well. And Cammy with an elbow to the face and a Russian leg sweep to Zelda again. These two just went straight up wrestling. And German suplex Zelda by Cammy. And a second one. And the third German suplex to Zelda there. Suplex City by Cammy, much. And now Cammy dragging Zelda away from the ropes. And Zelda is just royally ticked off. And Cammy blocks the kick there and trips her up. Does Cammy. Whiffs the elbow drop again. And Zelda with a neck breaker to Cammy there. And now Zelda picking up Cammy. Kicked the midsection of Cammy there by Zelda. And now Zelda whipping Cammy in the corner. And now turns around in the corner. And now Zelda, middle top turnbuckle, sits on her and trips up. Tie your boots, Zelda. And Zelda was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm just going to go for the sky. I thought she was going for the skyward surf, but she just goes for a normal suplex. DDT by Cammy to Zelda. And now Cammy setting up for that high angle slam she likes to use. And she nails it. And now Cammy dragging Zelda away from the ropes. New champion, maybe. Nova cover. 1, 2, and Zelda kicks out. And now Cammy whipping Zelda into the ropes. Back first on her knee. And an elbow to the head of Zelda there. And another elbow to the head of Zelda. Cammy is just punishing Zelda here. Punch to the face, and another one. And Zelda whipping Cammy into the ropes. And that weird takedown again. And just more kicks to the head of Cammy there by Zelda. And now Zelda with another suplex to Cammy. Another kick to the back of Cammy there by Zelda. Now Zelda with a go behind on Cammy. Shot to the back. And now Cammy getting whipped in the corner by Zelda. Clothesline knocking her down. Just another disrespectful kick to the back of Cammy by Zelda. And just a stomp to the arm of Cammy there by Zelda. And Cammy just punches her off. Another punch knocking her in the corner there. And now Cammy setting Zelda on the top turnbuckle. Oh god. Punch to the face by Cammy. Oh Jesus. And Cammy with the superplex to Zelda from the top turnbuckle. And now just slamming her head against the ring for good measure. Again, as if she's trying to purposely give her a concussion. Yep, I think Cammy's trying to purposely concuss Zelda here. Just slamming her head against the ring repeatedly like a bongo drum. And that punch knocking her down. And a headlock by Cammy and Zelda. And Cammy just punches her down. And just more elbows to the shoulders of Zelda by Cammy. She's just picking Zelda apart piece by piece and slams against her arm against the ring. This is a move in wrestling. Kick to midsection, another punch to the face of Zelda by Cammy. And just another straight punch to the face of Zelda. Fourth wall break, if 2K14 had making the whole thing like in the newer games where a woman could get busted open, that probably would have happened by now. In Zelda's case. But Cammy, with another armbar on Zelda, just nails it with a knee to the midsection. And Zelda with a neck breaker to Cammy. And Cammy just shoves her off, which she tried to go for a submission. And a weird takedown again. And Cammy just punching her in the breadbasket. Armbar again by Cammy to Zelda. And just another shot to the arm of Zelda there by Cammy. Into a headlock. Clothesline knocks her down. Now Cammy picking up Zelda. And now taking her to Suplex City again. With the triple German suplexes the Zelda for the second time. And now Cammy rolls over, go for cover. 1, 2, and Zelda kicks out again somehow. Headlock by Zelda to Cammy. And just a slap to the back of the head of Cammy there by Zelda. Forearm by Zelda there to Cammy. Another kick to the back there. And a stomp to the arm of Cammy there by Zelda. Kick to midsection of Zelda by Cammy. And Cammy with a second angle slam to Zelda. Now go for cover. New champion maybe. 1, 2. And Cammy gets the pin and is the new women's champion. Zelda was not going to go down without a fight. She would kick out the second triple German suplexes. And she was like, if I'm going down, I'm just going to freaking disrespect you as much as I can. And Cammy was like, alright, bet, freaking bitch. I'm just going to end this shit. And Cammy is now the new women's champion. And you know Sonya's going to probably be geeking in the hotel room right now. Cammy wins the women's championship. And this is her first ever championship. Besides when she was Femme Fatale's champion in TAW. Shout out to Josh again, by the way. Cammy can now call herself a champion. And now I can only imagine what the future is going to look like for the women's division with Cammy as the champion. And the next match is the main event of this pay-per-view, where Jack 6 defends his World Heavyweight Championship against Jesus, who won the men's Tournament of Glory last year. Battle of the Supremacy members. Well, one former member and the current member. You get the idea. And I have been looking forward to that match all freaking night, man. And this is the main event of this Hunting Grounds Pick 3 pay-per-view, where Jack 6 defends his World Heavyweight Championship against Jesus, who won the Tournament of Glory last year, and earned this opportunity for this title shot. And in fourth wall back, if I hadn't been so busy and dealing with so much crap last year, this pay-per-view would have happened last year. The same year when he won the tournament, but you know how that is. And here comes the current World Heavyweight Champion, Jack 6, who defeated Marcus Creed to win this championship. And there's a lot of history between these two. Because back in the day, these two used to be part of a group called the Supremacy. Well, Jack 6 still is. And Jesus was one of the best members. He was one of the best when it came to multi-man tag team matches. And Jesus was one of the best hardcore champions the Mag Nation ever had. And I believe he was also Atomweight champion at one point, but I might be wrong. And Jack 6 and Jesus actually teamed up at one point, along with Boo, to take out Viva La Pollution. And then they disbanded that quickly afterwards, and went on to do whatever. Well, I think it would have been cool if they had teamed up again as a group, but it's whatever. And now Jesus was a GM at one point of this company, because I guess he had retired from wrestling for a while. Then he got dragged out from the GM role, thanks to Boo. And then Jesus defeated Boo in the match that they had, and Boo was kicked out of the company for a brief bit, and then he was brought back for reasons. And ever since, and Jesus is a former internet champion in this company, and he's a former King of Wolves champion. And now, like I said, he won the Tournament of Glory after he defeated Loki. And he also, not only did he win the King of Wolves championship, but he unfortunately lost to Cassian Cinders. And we know how that turned out earlier in the night. But he earned himself a world title match against the same guy who was figured antagonize him early on in this company's history. They're trying to get Jesus the side of the supremacy again. Long-term storytelling, people. There was a reason why it was fated for when Jesus and Jack 6 had that meeting in the office a while back. And look where it's led. These two former partners teaming up. I mean, they're facing each other for the biggest championship in this company. And I doubt they'll ever team up again. Look at these two figures straight up just do not like each other. And there's the current champion. And also before that, it was the #1 contender. And like I said, I've been looking forward to this match for quite a while. And Jack 6 had to bust his ass to get that championship, and I doubt he's going to let that championship go without a fight. And there's the most prestigious bout in this company, the World Heavyweight Championship. And let's get this World Heavyweight Championship main event underway, and Jack 6 immediately running in with a clothesline to Jesus. And Jack 6 is just beating the crap out of Jesus. And he just hooks Jesus right into the ropes. And Jack 6 with a headlock on Jesus whips him in the corner. And now Jack 6 whips him in the opposite corner. And Jesus with a knee to Jack 6 when he tried to go for that shot to the midsection. Now Jesus with a clothesline to Jack 6 in the corner. And Jack 6 dodging him, Jesus trying to go over there. And Jesus counters Jack 6's clothesline attempt with a Samoan drop. And pair of kicks there by Jesus, and they ran right into each other. Collar and elbow tie up between the two. Sean McCarty's going to be happy somewhere. Armbar by Jack 6 and Jesus. And now Jack 6 whipping Jesus into the corner. And now Jack 6 turning Jesus around in the corner, kick to the back. Now turns him around to face him, and now whips him in the opposite corner. Try to go for that shot in the midsection again, but Jesus counters and puts Jack 6 in the corner. Jack 6 dodges out of the clothesline attempt, and Jack 6 nails him with his own clothesline, taking him down. Now Jack 6 knocking him in the ropes again, and sets him on the middle rope. Now Jack 6 just tossing Jesus down to the ring, and the knee drop by Jack 6 to Jesus. Kick the midsection Jack 6 by Jesus into the headlock, and Jack 6 whipping Jesus in the ropes again. And Jesus reverses whatever Jack 6 tried to go for into a DDT. And an armbar by Jesus on Jack 6, and knee to the midsection of Jesus by Jack 6, and another Samoan drop by Jesus there, the Jack 6. And the headlock by Jesus. Take over there by Jesus. Now Jesus with a headlock again on Jack 6. Into the neckbreaker. And now Jesus putting those holy mud hole stomps into Jack 6's chest. Kick the midsection again. Another punch knocking him in the ropes. And Jack 6 is dumping Jesus outside of the ring. Now Jack 6 going after Jesus on the outside. And Jack 6 with a pair of elbows to the face of Jesus. And now Jack 6 was just more punches, and that one just knocking down Jesus. These two are just brawling on the outside of the ring. Another punch to the face of Jesus there by Jack 6. Belly to belly suplex to Jesus on the outside. And now Jack 6 is back in the ring. And now Jack 6 is just taunting. There's that ego we all know and sometimes love and hate of Jack 6. And Jesus blocking that punch into a headlock. And Jesus with the body slam to Jack 6 into the elbow drop. And now Jesus with just a flurry of punches there to Jack 6 into another headlock. Into the suplex to the big guy. Another headlock by Jesus on Jack 6, who just reverses it into a suplex. I'll say this much, Jack 6 has the strength and power game over Jesus, but Jesus has the agility over Jack 6. Backbreaker to Jack 6 there by Jesus. Into the elbow drop to the chest. Now Jesus picking up Jack 6. There's more punches there, and that one dazing Jack 6, knocking him down. And now Jesus has Jack 6 up, he reverses it into a DDT, almost like Marcus Phoenix's finisher. And now Jack 6 is raining down punches repeatedly to the head of Jesus. Now Jack 6 with a headlock on Jesus again. Another backbreaker to Jesus. And now Jack 6 is raining down more punches to Jesus' head. And now Jack 6 with a body slam to Jesus. There's full force there. And now there's more punches to the dome on Jesus. It's like Jack 6 is trying to bust him open. And Jesus moved out of the way, whatever the hell that was. Clothesline by Jesus there, knocking down Jack 6. Springboard, which he missed. And Jack 6 with a clubbing shot to the back of Jesus. And he misses that one again. And Jack 6 with the German suplex. That's the first one. Second one, actually, but you get the idea. First one in the ring. And now Jack 6 trying to break Jesus' arm. Jesus blocks that punch into an armbar, into a go behind. Reverse DDT onto the knee. And another elbow drop to the chest. And now Jesus picking up Jack 6. Into the headlock. Elbow to the back of the head of Jack 6. And the chop. Another punch to Jack 6 there. And another go behind. And now Jesus whipping Jack 6 into the ropes. And now Jesus tried to go for something there, but Jack 6 reversed it almost into a flatliner. And another belly-to-belly suplex by Jack 6 to Jesus. And now Jack 6 just raining down more punches to the face of Jesus. He's just fully intending on trying to punish Jesus here. And Jesus just blocking a punch with Jack 6 and nails him, and then a flurry of punches by Jesus, and another headlock. And a backbreaker again to Jack 6. And they just ran right into each other there. Kicked him in section Jack 6 by Jesus. Another punch to the face and a headlock again by Jack 6. And Jesus reversing whatever Jack 6 tried to go for there into another backbreaker. Jack 6 is shoving him off. Another DDT by Jesus to Jack 6. And then just stomping a mud hole in him again. And now Jesus picking up Jack 6. Jack 6 blocking the kick there and trips him up. And now Jack 6 going for a submission. Didn't know Jack 6 was a submission specialist. Kinda. And Jesus just kicking him in the face with that sandal. And Jesus with a chop block to the big guy, taking him off his baits. And now Jack 6 getting picked up by Jesus, and he just raked his eyes and whiffed the kick there. Into the headlock again. Elbow to the face. And another headlock by Jesus. Into a second neck breaker. Another kick there by Jesus. And another one. And now Jesus whipping Jack 6. And nope, he reversed whatever Jesus tried to go for there. And now another belly-to-belly suplex. And now Jack 6 telling Jesus to get up. Setting up either for an F5 or a Megaton punch. And he nails it to Jesus. Now Jack 6 dragging Jesus away from the ropes. Going for a cover is Jack 6. Only a 1 count. What the hell? And Jesus blocked a punch there. Into a headlock. And Jack 6 slamming down Jesus. And another axe handle to the back of Jesus here. And now Jack 6 going for a cover again. Only a 1 count. Punched, more punches by Jack 6, and that one knocking him down. And Jack 6 just stomping Jesus' arm. Now Jack 6 picking up Jesus. And now Jack 6 lifting up Jesus. But Jesus reverses it into a DDT. And now Jesus setting up for the heaven's bottom. And now Jesus with the heaven's bottom to Jack 6. One. Only a 1 count. What the fuck? And now armbar by Jesus on Jack 6 reverses it into a headlock. Elbow to the back of the head. And Jesus blocking the punch there into a go behind. Into another suplex. Oh god. Jesus. Springboard! Which he nailed. And now Jesus with a headlock on Jack 6 again. Flips him over. Another elbow to the back of the head of Jack 6. And now Jesus trying to go for a submission of his own on Jack 6. Camel clutch. Make him humble. Make him tap. Ask him. And Jack 6 is crawling to the ropes. Ref, get the fuck out of the way. And Jack's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm just going to power out of it. Headlock again by Jesus. Into another neck breaker. Another elbow drop to the chest of Jack 6 by Jesus. And now Jesus tried to go for a suplex, but Jack 6 reverses it with one of his own. And now Jack 6 telling Jesus to get up again. And Jesus blocking the attempt at the Megaton punch. And Jesus with a suplex reversal of Jack 6 there. Oh god, now Jesus, another springboard, which he nailed, surprisingly. Going for a cover. One, nope, not even a 1 count because it was a rope break, because Jack 6's head was right there. And Jesus, heaven's bottom again to Jack 6. And now Jesus going for a cover. 1, 2, and Jack 6 kicks out again. And Jack 6 blocks the punch there, punch to the face, into another headlock. And Jesus slipping out of that, kicked the midsection of Jack 6. And Jack 6 blocked the punch there, go behind. Into a suplex to Jesus. And another stomp to the arm of Jesus there by Jack 6. And Jack 6 is intent on breaking Jesus' arm here. Just with another stomp, and misses that strike attempt. Clothesline by Jesus there, knocking him down. And now Jesus picking up Jack 6. And now Jesus with the suplex to Jack 6 again. And now Jesus going for his version of the people's elbow. Only in this case, it's the most holy elbow in all of wrestling. Now go for covers. Jesus. 1, 2, and Jesus is the new world champion. It took 2 heaven's bottoms and a holy elbow there by Jesus, but Jesus is the new champion. Jack 6, I cannot believe, lost in his first defense of the world championship. It took him over a year to get. And now Jesus is the new world champion. Holy crap. I knew Jesus had it in him to win this championship, considering the fact that shit he had to go through to win the Tournament of Glory. Holy crap. Jesus is the world champion. First time he's ever won a world championship in his career. Now I'm just wondering what the heck the future of this company is going to look like with thinking the Son of God as the champion. Holy crap. What a way to end this pay-per-view. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, all that stuff. See you in the next one. And I'm sure the rest of the Supremacy is probably going to be pissed off about this. Again, congrats to Jesus for the win. You deserved it, my dude. Jesus is the world champion. Holy crap.